Little children, it is the last time. And as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now are there many antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. That was 1 John 1:18. And for about 2,000 years now, people have been saying that the singular Antichrist shall come. Regardless, Antichrist is a spirit in the body of sin which cannot be born again, like people can. Some people are born again, and others are antichrists, and there is no other option. And likewise, where will the beast that was and is not and yet is spring forth from, without a womb of creation to birth it? Revelation 17, verses 7 to 11. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. So how do they behold the beast that was and is not, and yet is, if he is not? The beast that was and is not, and yet is a spirit. And the other beast from the earth that was and is not, as mentioned in Revelation 17:11, is dead King Solomon, who is of the 7-headed dragon, who broke God's covenant by worshiping other gods, built a religious house that God cast out of his sight, and set up what have become known as the pillars of law in the porch of his temple. Well, so much for the separation of church and state that are justified both by the doings of Solomon. He is the only man connected to the number of the beast in Scripture. And as I said, his doings justify today's counterfeit state church that is going out of business as I speak. It's the one that says established church leaders don't need to pay income tax, and these particular church leaders sell taxpayers on people like Bill Clinton, George Bush, and Obama as the powers that be ordained of God, which they are obviously not. I am hated for my testimony from God by tax and tithe payers worldwide who refuse to acknowledge that Solomon is the beast that was and is not. 5 years of testimony from me, and people are still looking for a singular Antichrist to be birthed. But that's okay. When the time's right, they'll wake up and stop trashing me like some Mars bars do, if you get my drift. This person that I'm talking about rushed to defend Solomon, the beast that was, in a letter to others, and told them that I am evil, but gave no explanation why. Obviously has the spirit of Antichrist. She didn't write to me. I heard this from others. So that's the way it is.